Manx Radio's Countryside is brought to you by MNFU Mutual.
Hello and welcome to Countryside here on Manx Radio. I'm Simon Clark.
And I'm Kirree. This week I caught up with Tim Johnston, the President of the Manx National Farmers Union, and I also took a walk with the Friends of the Manx National Heritage around Ballaugh Mill in Santon.
And despite the last 18 months of trouble here on the island and around the world, I popped along to Ballaugh campsite in Ballaugh to speak to the proprietor, Stephen Kirree. Well, Kirree, things go nicely. Plenty to get in, so quick chat. Just people out sowing fertiliser the other day I seen, and just the keen eye on them, aren't they? Just rain tomorrow maybe. I'll just get a bit of fertiliser on, which you need to sort of melt the fertiliser into the ground.
Yeah, lots of boys have been out in the tractors this last few weeks, haven't they, getting the things done? But it's been terribly cold and the spring has been quite slow coming. But the colour around the countryside is coming on nicely, and many of the cattle now will be outdoors. And this past weekend has been lovely weather, so a bit of sun on their backs will definitely help.
They will indeed. Well, the Manx National Farmers Union has been a big part of the agricultural world here on the island, Kirree, and you went and spoke to the president.
Yes, Tim Johnston is always full of knowledge and from on island and off island, keeping an eye on prices and how the agricultural industry is going. And I caught up with Tim to see how it has been this last year and also about the Ian Patent bursary. Tim, to begin with, we'll start with a bit of an overview of the Manx National Farmers Union.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, we're here to sort of look after and lobby on behalf of our members. The vast majority of farmers on the island are members of the union, so we're there to sort of be a voice for them, ask the difficult questions that need asking to government. You know, working with government and with the department where necessary, and generally be there as a voice for the industry. And I think politically as well, any issues, politicians tend to look to us to see what the issues are and, you know, what the situation is, to get a clear understanding of what the issues are. So that's what we do.
And that is very supportive. You know, it's a strong voice when you've got good backing, and the people within the Manx National Farmers Union are farmers themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think with that, Tim, with them being farmers, they understand the business. They're trying to run family businesses, family farms, and this Isle of Man does look very beautiful.
It certainly does. I mean, you know, the landscape we've got, you know, we see every day. It's generations of farmers, and I think, you know, over the COVID situation, I think more and more people have really appreciated, got out more, seen what's there, and actually at the end of the day, it hasn't happened by accident. It's generations of farming families have created the landscape we've got. Yeah. And
talking of this year, how has it been in the farming world?
Well, it's been, you know, I think like everywhere, when the whole COVID situation kicked off, it was like, you know, major. What's it going to mean for us as an industry? What's it going to mean for the economy generally? But, you know, we've muddled through as an industry. We've listened to the advice. As a union, you know, we got the message out there early to make sure that farmers had contingency plans in place, to make sure that, you know, worst case scenarios, if someone was struck down with COVID, that they had plans in place. So they're the sort of things we've done. And really it's been about, you know, how's it going to affect our markets? It was just so much unknown, really.
It really, really was. And you've touched on markets there, Tim. I believe now that beef and lamb farmers are receiving very good payments for their stock. You can see across in the UK and in the local press, you know, prices are at an all-time high. What do you think is driving this?
Yeah, well, again, you know, 12 months ago, real concern about what was going to happen with demand and prices. So, yeah, we're really pleased to see what's happening. I think it's a combination, really. I think there has been a genuine support for local, whether that's in the Isle of Man or also in the UK. That Buy British has been very effective. People are looking and sourcing local, and I think also with Brexit as well, that's sort of had an effect on the traditional sort of trade flows, really, and a lot of production in other parts of the world are being diverted into bigger growing markets, say in the Far East. So that's led to some shortages as well. So I think it's been a combination of things, really, yeah.
And I do, like you say, the support for local, as a farmer myself, I've really, really witnessed it. Everyone is sort of on Facebook, or all the farm shops, they have been getting used. The support has been out there. Where can we buy this? Where can we do this? I think the pandemic has really reiterated how important local is.
I think so. And, you know, in all walks of life, really. I think that's been, you know, if you can look at sort of where things have gone better after such a sort of difficult time, then I think people are looking more local, like you say, and supporting more local and understanding a bit more about it, which is really great.
And how do you see the future? Obviously, we've had Brexit, all of the upheaval with that and the change. There's been lots and lots of change. How do you see the future of agriculture sort of in 5-10 years?
If we can sort of maintain this sort of support for local, and we can maintain those sort of prices, I think that there's a really good future for the industry. That's absolutely key, and I think as the industry has got to and is appealing to a wider audience, and not just through food production. This is, I think, with the green economy as well, and one of the things through climate change and potential movements into green energy. Certainly, as a union, we're starting to lobby hard on that. We've started to do a lot of work on understanding the carbon footprint of agriculture, and getting those measurables, so we can really, and I think we're very confident that as an industry, you've got to remember that farming is the only industry that actually sequesters carbon as well as emits it, and we've got a tremendous opportunity as an industry to show what we can do to be part of the solution to climate change as well, not part of the problem really. Yeah. So again, push on more for high quality food, getting people to realise and support more local. And as an industry, doing more for the environment, and I think that's going to be really key.
And talking just on that there, the environment, DEFRA has now brought out the new handbook. How are farmers receiving it?
There's been a certain amount of concern. Any new scheme that comes in always does. We're trying to understand as well some of the implications. We have been a bit disappointed with the way that the scheme has been rolled out. There's been a lot of delay and uncertainty, and we're still not quite there yet. And I think, as a department, they really do need to do a lot better on that. And what we'll be doing, and we'll be carrying on to do, is trying to disseminate that information and understand it ourselves, and make sure that we get our members up to date on what's going on. And we'll be doing things over the next few weeks and months, hopefully, to sort of try and put some more clarity into it, really, yeah.
And do you see it being beneficial?
Well, I think so. I mean, you've got to remember that, when we very much lobbied for change through this, we've actually managed to get that extra funding into the industry, the extra £1 million that's gone into this environmental scheme. So I think it's really important that we embrace that and, see the opportunities from it. And I think it's a good thing as an industry to be seen to be doing it as well. And I think it all feeds into that whole thing that people want to support the industry and see that we're doing the right things, and hopefully from that also support us more, buying more from us. So I think it makes us look. I think it's the right thing to be doing in the current climate and the way things are going. Talking
of support, Tim, the bursaries that the Manx National Farmers Union have to support young people is always really important. And one just recently, the Ian Payton Fund has been set up.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Payton, he left a legacy to the union to be used for educational purposes in agriculture and agricultural engineering, which is really a tremendous thing. So really, it's a fund that's available for all ages. Anything related to agriculture, as I say, agricultural engineering. So if anyone's got any desires to develop an idea in agriculture or training, etc., I would urge them to come and speak to us and have a talk to us about it. It's very hard to be really prescriptive about it. So I think what we're saying to people is, if you've got some ideas, it might be involving travel, gathering information, looking in other parts of the world. But I think the important thing is what we're looking for is for people to come and share that with the industry, so that the industry benefits from it. And if we can see that, then I think it's something that we would be happy to either put a grant towards or potentially some loans as well. So as I say, if you've got any ideas, please pick up the phone, speak to the union and come and have a chat to us about it.
And it's not just for one individual?
Oh no, absolutely no. There's a fund available, so we're looking for as many people who are interested to come forward and talk to us, and we'll look at it on a case by case basis.
That was Tim Johnston, the president of the Manx National Farmers Union.
That's a wonderful thing they have there, isn't it, in reserve for for mighty valuable use like it has been in the past.
Yes, the bursary is an absolute fantastic opportunity for anybody in agriculture to go abroad, like Tim said, or even stay locally, but to do a topic or a subject you really wanted to do but maybe never had the finances to afford it, and they're willing to help out. So do get involved if you've got any keen interest and need a little bit of support.
Yes, it's difficult. That's the first difficult step, the first hurdle, isn't it, in getting that initial injection into it.
Absolutely.
Anyway, enough about injections. I went along to Ballaugh campsite in Ballaugh, where Stephen Kirree is in charge. There with his family land. And, well, I thought this time of year, what's been happening around the Isle of Man, I thought there might be 1 or 2 caravans there. But it's certainly not the case. Looks busy enough, Stephen.
Yeah, it's most weekends we have a lot of local people come down and support us outside of TT and Grand Prix week. Especially since the COVID outbreak, there's more and more coming of a weekend.
Yeah.
And bringing their families and just supporting local businesses.
Well, like, you're looking round the site now, there's static caravans, there's motorhomes, there's some tents down there. Seems to be a bit of everything.
Yeah, we get a mixture of everything. We welcome everybody. We get converted horse boxes.
Really?
Yeah. It's like really weird when you see a horse box coming in and they open the back and they've got it all rigged out with beds and everything. And
you wouldn't have time to get the fences up.
Oh, that's in the next door field. That's the jump field.
But it is one of them things. I mean, it must be. How long are you into it now?
My dad started it in centenary year 2007. And then I took the business over in 2013, and we just gradually built it from there, and we do a bit more every year.
Now, you've been involved, like most of your family, in agriculture all your life. How much of a culture shock was it changing to this?
Not much of a culture shock, because the people who come camping are outdoor people. They want to be out in the countryside, they want to go for walks, they want to play, they want to be out in the countryside, so they're a very similar type of person.
We're sitting here under a nice veranda with the sort of facilities behind us. You mentioned the toilets and showers over there, and such an important part of people when they're camping, because some love it, don't they? Some, all right, well, let's try it. And the first experiences can, I suppose, make them feel as though they want to chance it again.
Well, when we built the shower blocks, we had one mission in mind. And my attitude is, if I wouldn't use the showers myself, why would I expect my guests to use them? So they're proper power showers. They're cleaned every hour, every couple of hours. They are top of the range showers and toilets. People don't go camping in the field anymore. They want proper facilities.
And what about behind us here? I see there's tins of beans and pot noodles, the essentials for campers.
Oh, the essentials for camping, beans, pot noodles, porridge. We provide free tea and coffee for the guests. We ask for a small donation to our chosen charity. This year it's the Joey Dunlop Foundation, because they are struggling. In the past we've done dog charities. We've raised enough money for an AED on site. There's microwaves, ovens, basically everything you need.
Yeah, and just the smell when I was coming in here before, there was somebody buttering a nice piece of crunchy toast on the way in. They just, I suppose, are in and out. They're not going to sit down for a massive big meal when you camp. And you're in and out, having a little snack, go for a walk.
It's really funny, because they come, they use the campsite as a base, and then they'll go to the pub, they'll go to the shop, they'll wander down to the wildlife park. You see families going off on the push bikes down the railway line to the wildlife park, and it's just like a family atmosphere. They all love it. And
you're lucky, I suppose. You've got all them facilities as well as a great campsite, all in the same area.
Yeah, you got the bus stop, you got the post office, the shop. The bus route. It's you can come. Backpackers can come, and not too far from anywhere.
And what about the views as well? When you look from behind us here, you look at the mountains, the great mountains on a lovely clear day. That must be a nice attraction, particularly for people who come from cities across.
It's always amazing, especially TT week. You'll get people arrive on a late boat sort of 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's pitch black. They'll pitch up, and then the next morning, sort of sunrise, 4:30, 5 o'clock up over the hills, and then they're sat outside the tent, and they're just in awe of the view. And it's like, we never see anything like this in the city, and we take it for granted, and I take it for granted. I look at it every day, but the Manx countryside, I think, is as good as anywhere.
And that's part of the remit, I suppose. And one of the bits, I suppose, there's people when the boats come in and certain holidays when they're going again.
Touch wood.
Yeah, it must be fairly difficult to. Are you sort of have to come backwards and forwards?
Well, I'm 24/7 when it's busy like that. TT week, I like to welcome everybody in, see everybody out.
You're on site here all the time?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I know who's on site then. We don't get strangers coming in, and it's a lot of hard work. I snooze when I can. Yeah. But when it's busy, you just got to do it. You got to make hay while the sun shines.
But you mentioned about quite a few people here this weekend. I mean, how has it been? I mean, it's been tough for everyone. How have you managed here?
Basically, last March, when the whole thing hit, it was a real big worry. And we sat down, we reevaluated the business, and we've cut costs everywhere, whatever we could do. But in hindsight, over the last year, I would say we've actually benefited from COVID.
Really?
Yeah. Because with us reviewing on how we've done our business and how we reduce costs, how we thought outside the box, we put other events on, encouraged locals to come down. We have the Astronomical Society come down, do a star party. We're involved with the Manx Fell Runners. They have their events from here. We're involved with the Mountain Bike Club. They start their events here. The motorcycle groups, we have an enduro started here.
All local groups?
Yeah. So by encouraging them, we've actually, yes, our turnover was 40% down, but with reducing our costs so much, yes, it was a big impact, but we've survived it, and going forward into next year and the year after, we're in I think, a really good position.
And what about interest so far this year? We're in May so far. Obviously, the TT isn't happening. Is there going to be anyone here then?
I think we've got a lot of bookings for TT week, what should have been TT week, from locals, and I think they were going to go on holiday anyway, decided they don't want to go across, and they're going to come here instead. And we're fairly busy for the whole week. Mm-hmm. And then moving on to when it would have been Grand Prix, we've got a lot of inquiries from the UK that saying, well, we've got a booking with you for Grand Prix, we're going to come over anyway if we can.
Right.
Even though there's no bike event on, they just love the island. They don't only just come for the biking event, they come for the island as well. So a lot of them want to come as well. So once them borders open up, I think you could see quite an influx of visitors coming to the island.
You got a local business here, you've a lot of work in yourself, and it's great that your outlook to it is very positive.
I think you got to be positive. You can't change the world at the moment. You got to bend and adapt to it, and think outside the box, and that's my attitude.
Stephen Kirree from the Ballaugh campsite, and if you want details about a stay, www.ballamawcampsite.im, or the telephone number 499 and plenty of bookings in store, which is great news, Kirree, isn't it? With what we've had so far in the last sort of 12 months and 18 months, and plenty of people want to get there. A lovely, lovely view, like we were talking about.
It's a fantastic campsite, isn't it? It's really, really well kept. But like you say, local people are looking for lots of local things to do now that travel is maybe put on hold. But why not get a bunch of friends and go and have a stay over and set up a tent? I've not been camping for years, but why not? Isn't it? The opportunities are here.
Oh well, I shall erect me pole and get ready for you. You're listening to Countryside here on Manx Radio with Kirree Kermode and myself, Simon Clark. Well, of course, Sunday afternoons, Phil Gorn and myself do Gullis Gagan, which is full of the Manx culture and Manx heritage. And you were talking about a little bit of Manx national heritage
Absolutely. The Friends of the Manx National Heritage had one of their first open days at Ballaugh Mill there in Santon, just down by Port Greenock. A lovely, lovely garden kept by Kit and Nicola Pemberton. I popped along and I caught Nicola while she was busy serving tea and cakes to find out what it was all about. Well, Nicola, you couldn't have picked a nicer day for have everybody in your garden. What is this special event?
Oh, thank you so much. No, it really is a beautiful day compared with yesterday when it was wind and rain. Well, it's been a very strange year this year for all charities, and so thinking out of the box, we decided to open our garden and let members of Friends of Manx National Heritage in.
People are here by the droves. Obviously, it has been, like you say, a peculiar year, and people are looking for things to do. But a lot of work has gone into this garden, Nicola. It's not just done in a month or two.
No, it's taken 35 years, in fact.
And just yourself.
No. I've got a wonderful husband he calls himself the slasher and basher, and then I have got other people that do help as well. But no, I do the majority of it because I really enjoy it.
Yeah. And I see there's a plant stand here for people to actually purchase and go home with such beautiful bushes and flowers from your garden. What do you particularly like? It's very colourful.
Well, we've got, someone owns the bees that actually live in the garden, and so everything is predominantly wildflowers, and those are the things that I really enjoy and have learnt a lot about. Yeah. So I suppose salsify, ragged robin, that sort of thing. Yeah.
And I did see some huge big rhododendrons in the back there too.
Yes, they've popped today, literally, over the weekend. Thank you. Somebody up there has brought a bit of colour, because actually it being so cold, you know, it's actually been a tricky time trying to get the garden ready.
And touching on the spring, it really has been very cold in the mornings, the frost, and it was bitterly. How does a plant survive through that kind of weather?
Some haven't, but others are used to it. So no, it's been a trial, but it's well worth it to see everybody here today, and it's just been a glorious day.
It really has. And we are here at Ballaugh Mill in the bottom of Port Greenock Valley, would we call it?
Yeah, absolutely. And really, it's all about Friends of Manx National Heritage and the members coming and having a lovely day out and just enjoying the sunshine. And we're so thrilled that so many people turned up.
And how do we get involved, Nicola? Because obviously people love to get out in the great outdoors, especially with maybe being stuck on the island at the moment. It is always nice to join local things or even find out about them.
Yes, absolutely. Well, the best thing to do is to go onto our website, which is www.friendsofmnh.org, and there you'll find out all about joining, and you can then use your membership to go around all the sites on the island and further afield across as well.
And always a good Manx tradition is tea and cake, Nicola, and I see there's lots of tea and cake being had.
Yes, we've had fantastic volunteers who've all been kind enough to make cakes for us, and the day wouldn't have happened, or the 2 days wouldn't have happened without all the volunteers who've helped man the stalls, do the plant stall, do the cake stall and make cakes. So they've been wonderful.
And they're very, very welcoming as well, and full of knowledge about the Isle of Man and other events that you're having.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're going to now, hopefully, lockdown is behind us, we can get on and start thinking up new events for all the members to enjoy. Thank you.
That was Nicola Pemberton from Ballaugh Mill, Friends of the Manx National Heritage. What a lovely, lovely garden they've got, and so many people.
Yes, and it's great that the people want to get involved with the preservation and the love of the Manx countryside, isn't it?
It's so important to keep these things going, and like Nicola mentioned there, to become a member and go and see lots of other hidden gems around the Isle of Man. Their garden alone was just full of beauty, but also some of the modern technology and the little automatic mowers going around. A new polytunnel there come from Shetland Islands, really, really robust and can stand up to 140 mile an hour winds. But these are little things that we can learn and get tips from an organisation like the Friends of Manx National Heritage, and have them established in our own gardens.
It is indeed. Great stuff. That's all we've got time for on this week's programme. Don't forget the podcast at Manx Radio's website if you missed part of the programme, and we'll be back next Tuesday with more. So from me, Simon Clark.
And me, Kirree Kermode.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.